My next cruise is just a few short days away, but there's one thing that I am not looking forward to. That story and more next. This is your Cruise News Fix. This Sunday, I will be boarding the Norwegian Breakaway in New Orleans, along with a lot of other vloggers and cruise lovers. And though embarkation day is probably one of my favorite days of a cruise, there's one thing that I could definitely do without, and that's the muster drill. One thing that's been great about cruising the last year and a half has been the e-muster procedures. But Disney did away with that late last year, and now, just days before my first post-pandemic NCL cruise, Norwegian has returned to the traditional in-person muster drill despite the overwhelming popularity and simplicity of the e-muster drill. Here's what the company had to say in a letter to travel agents and travel partners. The safety of our guests and crew members is our #1 priority. We continuously evaluate our procedures for providing detailed instructions on safety and security measures to our guests, and as such have made the decision to reinstate synchronized muster drills on embarkation day across all vessels in the fleet. So I don't recall hearing about any incidents that arose over the past year and a half where people were ill prepared due to the e-muster process, and personally, I don't know how getting the same information while being uncomfortably squeezed in a tight formation with strangers will be better.
Must make you feel like a sardine in a can.
But hey, the good news is, if you're at an old-fashioned muster drill, that means you're cruising. Now, NCL dropped this bomb a few days ago, and the changes are taking place on each of their ships' next embarkation day. And this change is for all Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings vessels, and that includes Regent Seven Seas cruises and Oceania cruises as well. As they always do, fans of Carnival Cruise Line were quick to bombard John Heald's Facebook page with questions about Carnival's muster drill procedures, and Heald said, "Our experience with the e-muster process has been extremely positive, and we are able to provide our guests with critical safety information in a more individualized manner, including them understanding very specifically where their muster station is and how to get to it. The e-muster process has also generated positive comments for effectiveness during our post-cruise survey results. We will continue to utilize our e-mustering process while always looking for ways to improve its effectiveness." No word from Royal Caribbean or MSC as of yet, but I know this is a pretty hot topic for a lot of cruisers, and we'll keep you posted of any changes. In other Norwegian Cruise Line news, yesterday the company had to delay their departure for the Norwegian Gem from New York due to the winter weather.
Snowstorm in New York.
The Gem instead departed this morning. However, the delay will result in the ship missing its first port of call, Bermuda, on the 27th. To compensate for the missed port call, the Gem will remain at their next port of St. Thomas for 3 extra hours, and no other changes are expected for this 11-night sailing that also includes stops in San Juan, Dominican Republic, Aruba, and Costa Rica. The Gem will arrive at its final port of call in Panama City on February 6th. Just a few days ago here on the Cruise News Fix, I told you why the Celebrity Ascent was going to be such a special ship for me, and if you missed that, you can check that video out right here. But yesterday, Celebrity Cruises President and CEO Lisa Lutoff-Perlo announced who the captain, or in this case, captains of the vessel will be.
Who's the captain of our crew?
Greek brothers Dimitrios and Tassos Kefetsis will be alternating on a 3-month rotation once Celebrity Ascent sets sail later this year. Captain Dimitrios has spent his entire maritime career of more than 30 years with Celebrity Cruises. He started as an apprentice officer on board Celebrity's very first vessel, the Horizon, back in 1990. Since then, he's sailed aboard every class of ship in Celebrity's fleet and was part of the startup teams for Celebrity Millennium, Infinity, Silhouette, and Celebrity Apex, of which he was also the takeout captain. Captain Tassos followed in his older brother's footsteps and joined Celebrity Cruises in 1998. In his 20-plus years with Celebrity, he has assisted in welcoming the Celebrity Summit, Solstice, Equinox, and Reflection, and most recently served as captain on Celebrity Edge. Obviously, it's a blast to cruise to the Bahamas and the Caribbean, but I've always been a big believer that cruising is a great way to see the world, so I was excited to see that earlier this week an Abu Dhabi-based company opened up a brand new cruise ship terminal in Aqaba, Jordan. The new cruise terminal is the first of 5 mega projects underway with Aqaba Development Corporation to boost the coastal city's tourism, logistics, and transport sectors. MSC Splendida arrived at the terminal for the inauguration, and visitors to the terminal in Jordan can visit Aqaba, the Wadi Rum Desert, and one of the coolest places that I've ever visited, the historic site of Petra. Now, there are a lot of really cool places on this little rock we call Earth, but I will pose this question to you. What is the coolest place you've ever visited on a cruise? Let us know down in the comments. I'm not much of a gambler, but I'd be willing to bet that a lot of you watching this right now enjoy some time in the casino when you cruise. And guests on board Margaritaville at Sea can now enjoy an upgraded casino featuring new slot machines, modern sports betting, and table games like blackjack, craps, and Texas Hold'em. Margaritaville has also added a dedicated casino host and Players Club loyalty program with 4 tiers of points-based membership. Players earning gold and platinum status can earn perks such as spa credits, complimentary specialty dining, stateroom discounts, upgrades, and more. Margaritaville at Sea Paradise sails 3-day, 2-night sailings out of Palm Beach, Florida to Grand Bahama Island. So if you're in the market for a quick casino cruise, this might just be your jam. Plus they have liquor-infused ice cream, so it can't be that bad. The cruise season may be over for the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal, but it may soon be as busy as ever. We've talked a lot on this program about the refugee crisis as it pertains to cruise ship rescues, but unless you've been under a rock the past few years, you know that that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, I'm not getting into any political debates here on this platform, so I'm gonna get back on track here. New York Mayor Eric Adams announced yesterday his plans to use the cruise terminal in Brooklyn as an emergency shelter to house asylum seekers who have been arriving in the city in record numbers.
Just ask anyone in Brooklyn.
The shelter is set to open this week with the ability to house 1,000 single men with plans to operate until the next cruise season. Great food is one of the things that many travelers look forward to on board cruise ships. And when I opened up my email yesterday and perused the latest Carnival VIFP newsletter, I saw that they had offered up the recipe for one of my wife's favorite appetizers on Carnival cruises, the arancini from Cucina del Capitano.
Arancini, Robbie, what's that mean?
So if that's something that you enjoy as well, I've put the link to that recipe down in the description for you to check out. And that's it. That's the fix for today. Do us a favor and smash that like button and share this video with someone that loves cruising as much as we do. I've got to go start packing because we are heading out to New Orleans in the morning for our breakaway cruise. So we'll have a lot of content from that cruise coming up. But until then, we still have more vlogs from our Carnival celebration sailing. So next up, check out our first vlog in that series and stay tuned because the next one will be out soon. And as always, remember, life is short and cruising is fun. We'll see you next time.